Prince and Prince, the one with the big hooded gun, and Maggie, both flat out. And the other two, at least one, will stand right over the top of her while she's sleeping to make sure everything is okay. It used to be Lulu all the time, and now Toka is standing over the top. Yeah, they can come over. Sometimes they don't care. When Wanda was pretty much dying, last few days,
our elephants here, and then you are going to be able to make a stop and get off the shuttle up at Bull Mountain, which I'll point out to you as we go along. And then after Bull Mountain, you can get on a shuttle, and it'll take you back to where you just got on. In case you missed it, Ed Stewart, our co-founder, is over here talking to people about the African elephants who are in this habitat. If you would walk back the other way, that's where you see big cats and bears. God, I feel like I'm like a tour operator today. Oh, look. Oh, Maggie's laying down. Oh, 2 elephants. Toka. Wow. That's... Sorry, I even get excited about that. Maggie, who's in the middle. Maggie, okay, first of all, elephants do lay down to sleep, okay? They do lay down. Maggie, pretty much, who's in the middle there, she came from the Alaska Zoo. She was the only zoo in Alaska, or the only elephant in Alaska at the time. She lays down to nap pretty much every day. Toka, that is really cool that Toka's laying down too. And then Lulu, who's standing up. Toka came from the Toronto Zoo, and Lulu, who's standing up, came from the San Francisco Zoo. Now, what happens is Lou is not going to move from that spot. I hope she doesn't prove me wrong. No, usually, at least, well, since 2 are laying down, she will usually stay within a body length of Maggie when Maggie's laying down, and not until Maggie gets up again will she move away. So she stands guard over her while she sleeps, which is, yeah, really neat behavior. It's a natural, I mean, it's a natural behavior. So here at PAWS, we have, this is 2,300 acres that well, that's where we're going to come around to, where you'll be able to get off. And our sanctuary manager, Brian, is there with one of our bull elephants, Asian bull elephants, Nick. And so he'll talk to you about Nick and maybe talk a little bit about his training and that. If he doesn't, you can ask. And another one of our bull elephants, he was also laying down. He's still there. Yeah, Prince. Yeah. Elephants will also rest. They'll doze standing up. But this is pretty amazing. Him I expected from Toka, I'm surprised. But yeah, he actually likes to nap. He takes a lot of naps. So, yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he is. Yeah, bull elephants are big.
No, I just, when you see them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then on this side too is our habitat for female Asian elephants, and I think gypsies. Especially right now with African elephants, with poaching. They're being poached for their tusks, for the ivory trade, illegal ivory trade. And their tusks, I don't know if you know, tusks are nothing more, they're elongated teeth. That's all they are. But yet, there's this crazy value put on them. So, so that's another thing that, and we are starting to see, I think, the tide turn a little bit on it, but it's a big concern right now. So, on a lighter note,
what is the average lifespan of an elephant in the wild?
In the wild? Well, okay. Well, in African elephants, about 65 years is about the oldest they've seen. Asian elephants, I've heard up to like 80, 85. So, however, not everyone makes it, to that age. I think the average they did an average at the Amboseli Park in Kenya, and I think for females it was 54. There's Mara.
She's posing.
Yeah.
It's the genre of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mara actually originally was in a petting zoo in, I believe it was San Jose. And then she was sent to another facility, and they were going to send her to a circus, and PAWS intervened.
Where's she going? She's on hay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
She's African, right?
Yeah.
Big ears.
Yeah. That's right. Does anyone know how to tell the difference between Asians and Africa? Oh, here's Tika. She's hanging out down here.
Their ears, right?
Yeah, they have the bigger ears, and they're kind of like the shape of Africa.
And the lobes are...
They also, the Asian elephants have more of a rounded back, and they have the two kind of, rounded areas on their heads. Also, they have different numbers of nails on their front and back feet, as well as they have African elephants. They have a finger at the end, and the Asians have two, and the Africans have one. They're so dexterous with their trunks that they can pick up a grain of rice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, they can pick locks. I mean, and I'm not joking. I've heard stories about them like opening up locks. Wasn't one of these females that does get worked out? Yeah, yeah, no, we gotta keep it moving. I just work it up. Yeah, no, keep moving. Oh, who's on
One of these is over here by herself.
Hey, Michelle, keep it moving.
We don't want her to get angry.
No, they can't. That fence goes way deep into the soil, and that's
It's iron. It's iron, right?
Yeah.
It's iron.
Steel.
Steel,
Yeah. No, that fence isn't going anywhere.
So some trees are meant to stay there.
Yeah, that's why those trees are protected. Well, and also because they provide shade in that too. So, and if we didn't protect them, they would be gone. Yeah, it's not good.
I didn't think
No,
so.
it's not good. The one study was about average, or their mean, I think, was considered like 33 for African elephants, and it was
This female's there by herself for a while.
Tika, right? Yeah,
So she was socialized.
yeah, because Tika. Well, I was saying about next. But
has
yeah,
some
right
company
now.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
What's the long-term plan for these animals?
the long-term plan is they're going to live out their lives here. Our animals, once they come here, they will stay here. We don't breed because, like I said, these animals don't belong in captivity. We don't breed, we don't trade, we don't make them perform, etc. We don't sell them. They will live out their lives here.
The best case scenario.
Yeah.
What makes
I'm sorry, what?
like get them together and figure out if they're going to get along?
Well, we have them separate so they can meet through the fencing, basically. And then you kind of just gauge what you're seeing through the fencing and, who's getting along, who's interested in who, whether or not someone's charging the fence, and yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. And then, yeah, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
And she'll do that. She'll get on one of the tables in front, push on it, and just stare at you. So we had to retrofit the entire habitat because of her.
See the test one longer than the other?
We had one habitat. We had hot wiring off. It was just hot tape wiring across the board. It wasn't connected to anything. It actually wasn't even connected on the end. All the other girls left alone. It was just tied to posts. And the other girls could walk around the end if they wanted to. It wasn't even connected up. They were just going to save that habitat. One of our first days out, she walked over being in the circus. She knew what hot wire was. She looked for hot wire. She wasn't even touching it. She was trying to feel like the electric current. She didn't feel that. She stood on it. Put in a 20 by 20 stall for the rest of his life. Which for a 4-year-old is a decent, not decent, but it's a big stall. But as he kept growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, this stall didn't grow, but he kept growing. And then, so he lived there from when he was like 4 until 13. And then a couple of those years he lived with Gypsy, who's the female down below. And so 2 of them in that same stall. And so by the time he's 13, they could not move without touching each other. There was no way they could get around that stall without being in contact somehow with each other. And so this place that had them, this was at a place just outside of Chicago. It was basically like a animal, not a warehouse, but it was basically like a party rental agency. And so they had bears, they had tigers, they had elephants, and they would train all these animals to do circus tricks. But they, at this time, they didn't have their own circus to take them out on the road. They would rent them to either Shriners or smaller circuses who couldn't afford their own animals. Would come and say, hey, we need blah, blah, blah animals to go on the road with us this summer. So they would send those animals plus with their trainers and go out on the road. Their elephant portion got shut down by USDA. And so they had about 20 some elephants, and most of them got put at the Tennessee Sanctuary outside of Nashville. And then one pair went to a zoo, and then all that was left was Nick and Gypsy. And nobody wanted Nick. He was 13 years old, perfectly healthy, nothing wrong with him, intact, so he could have been a breeder somewhere, but he was labeled a killer.